if you want to fight against Donald Trump and Trumpism and authoritarianism and fascism, you have to move left. Most of the Dems aren't doing that. Chuck Schumer is leading from behind, allowing the move to the right. Gavin Newsom, who's probably running for president, is moving to the right because that's where the money is. Who's that? That's AOC. She's talking at a rally. Let's hear what she has to say.
He's handed Elon Musk and is selling this country for parts to the richest people on the planet for a kickback. And in exchange, they will bankroll his campaigns and those of his allies. They scratch his back, he scratches theirs, and the rest of us are left behind.
That sounds entirely true. It seems like she's telling you exactly what's happening and what's going on. Elon Musk spends lots of money so that he gets government contracts that give him more money, and then he pays for the people to get elected who give him more money. It's a system. It's an economy, sure, but it's a bad economy.
No, we will not accept an oligarchic form of society where a handful of billionaires run the government. No, we will not accept an authoritarian form of society with a president who undermines the Constitution every day and is working aggressively to take away our freedom of speech and freedom of assembly.
So, yeah, I think Bernie's absolutely right here. And that is why I keep getting grumpy with him. That's why I keep getting grumpy with Donald Trump, and I don't like him all that much. He is taking away freedom of speech. There was a French, French scientist. Where are you, French scientists? French scientist denied U.S. entry after phone messages critical of Trump. So they weren't trying to sneak in. This wasn't some immigrant coming here to live illegally and steal your job and Social Security and unemployment check somehow. This was a person who was coming to do a conference. French researchers minister said that the scientist was traveling to Houston for a conference when his phone was searched. So this actual literal scientist was intended to go to a conference that was scheduled in Houston. They flew in, but a French scientist was denied entry into the U.S. this month after immigration officers at the airport searched his phone and found messages in which he had expressed criticism of the Trump administration. And it wasn't about immigration or anything like that. This measure was apparently taken by the American authorities because the researcher's phone contained exchanges with colleagues and friends in which he expressed a personal opinion on the Trump administration's research policy. They're cutting research, and they're cutting out all the government-funded research, and that's what's upsetting him. That means you don't get to come into the country anymore. And he's going to look into the camera. Donald Trump is going to look into the camera and tell you he's protecting your free speech. No, he's not. They are anti-free speech. Conservatives, as always, are anti-free speech. They want freedom for themselves and their ideas. If you stop a conservative from saying something fucking stupid and something blatantly wrong, they will be very upset with you hampering their free speech. But they will cheer when scientists get kicked out of the country for their speech, because they do not understand what these things mean. Conservatives do not comprehend what freedom of speech is, what it means, how to enact it, how to protect it, where it comes from, where it's going, or even what it looks like. They don't know any of this. They feel like the people who are bad don't deserve rights, don't deserve feelings, don't deserve any consideration, and need to be harmed, or prevented from harming themselves, or prevented from harming somebody else. The people they don't like, based on feelings, don't get the power and authority and rights and stuff that they get. It's us versus them 100% of the time with conservatives. Everyone who isn't us, being conservatives, and everyone who isn't a part of the conservative movement is a them. And they need to be controlled. They need to be stymied, they need to be corralled, they need to be sent to the country they're from, they need to be pressed down, they need to be ignored and repressed, honestly, so that the conservatives, can have the most power, rights, authority, and importance. So the administration basically tried taking the industry works in. Bro said something about that in privacy. Yeah, a private chat, as anyone would in that position. Then the administration got offended so much that he can't do his job. Yeah, absolutely. This is anti-free speech. Of course it is. But they don't care, because free speech is only allowed if you agree with the conservatives. Conservatives will die to defend free speech of conservatives. Anybody else can fuck off and eat shit. That's how it works. Conservatives will protect conservative free speech, and only conservative free speech. They will not fight for the rights of anybody who isn't a conservative. They will take from you your freedom of speech. You will not be allowed to, in private, criticize the Trump administration without suffering consequences. And that is a problem. Disagreement with Trump is now illegal for anyone traveling to the United States. It will soon be illegal for you and me, even in private. I'm doing it publicly. I mean, there's 6 people in chat, and that counts as public. Okay, thank you. It will soon be illegal to criticize Donald Trump. He wants it to be illegal. He wants it to be illegal. You have to hide my press pass in public. Yeah, that's not going to matter anymore either. He wants it to be illegal to criticize him in the press. He wants it to be illegal for MSNBC to argue with him and call him a liar. He wants it to be illegal for CNN to disagree with him. He wants it to be unlawful to disagree with him in public and in private. You will face harm. You will face damages. You will face an attack from the United States government if you say things Donald Trump doesn't like. Doesn't matter if they're true. Doesn't matter if they're opinions. Doesn't matter where you said them or how you said them. Doesn't matter what context. He wants to take away your freedom of speech. That's all there is to it. There's nothing else more important than this. He wants to take away your ability to protest, which is why he's going after all the Muslim Hamas terrorist protesters at the colleges. They haven't committed any crimes, but he wants them to be punished by the government. That's exactly what he wants. Government punishment for the words you say are coming.
Pressing the thumbs up button will release chemicals in your human brain that will make you feel.
There is something we can do about it. I have been asked that question a couple of times recently, even in the YouTube and in the comments and stuff like that, and on my Blue Sky and stuff like that. What can we do? It does sound like the weaponization of the government against the political enemies. Didn't we have a committee about this? Yeah. But conservatives think the law is intended to hurt the people they don't like. That is what they think the law is. When Biden is in charge and the law goes after Donald Trump for breaking the law, Donald Trump feels, in his heart, he feels like they're using the law to hurt the people they don't like. It's not true. He's broken the law, so the law comes after him. So when Donald Trump gets in charge, he feels like it's okay to go after the people you don't like. That's what he feels. The law is a feelings game for these people. Yep, 1984, Fahrenheit 451, and Project 2025 all rolled into one. It's the most dystopian thing that could ever exist, and we're all together rolling it into a big old ball. What can we do? Well, share things with people. Share the links to stories with your friends. Push back if a family member says something positive of Donald Trump. Find like-minded people, online and in person, and talk with them. Ignorance can no longer be an excuse. The fascists are in charge. The constitutional crisis is happening now. The protests have begun. The law means nothing to MAGA, and the courts can be ignored when it's convenient for them. And the Senate has given up. It's only going to get more chaotic from here. And if you create a personal relationship with somebody, they might come to you and ask you what's going on. The people who weren't paying attention before will see the chaos and want to know what the hell is going on. And they might be confused, and they might be getting bad information. And if you have planted a seed of truth within them, they might come to you and ask, hey, what is this? You know more about the politics. You know what's going on. You seem to know the news. What is this? And if you've proven yourself to be trustworthy on those political topics, they might come to you with the questions, and you could lead them in the right direction. Is this a long-winded way of telling you to like, share, and subscribe to me? Yes. But doing so is now also a civic duty. And you've embarked upon it to improve society so you can feel really good about it. You can now feel very good about chatting and sharing all my stuff and going into my Discord because now you're doing a civic duty. And like I was saying, and I do think that the Senate has given up. I don't have anything about Chuck Schumer. We saw Chuck Schumer earlier. He sucks and nobody likes him. Chuck Schumer has given up. He is waiting around in the back for you and me to do all the rising up. He's not a leader. He's a follower. As usual, the Dem leaders are fighting the left side of their party harder than the actual authoritarians in power. Chuck Schumer does not want to lead a revolution. He wants a revolution to happen, and then he can profit from it. He can bask in whatever positive things happen to make himself look important and valuable, and he will then lead it from behind. He is not a leader, he is a follower. Leading from behind is also called following. And that's what I think the problem is right now. The Dems have too many followers and not enough leaders, which is why I'm happy when AOC and Bernie do their thing, when they jump out there and start talking about how good things can be. And this is leadership. Yeah, KBP, you're slapping QR codes on your channel inside urinals. Okay, well, so that people can pee on it. They're not going to take pictures of it. I'm just saying that's a bad place to put the QR code. And make sure it has the /subscribe behind it when you do the QR code, because it automatically subscribes people. Bernie and AOC make him proud to be a human. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Maybe that's gotta, I don't know. The numbers are going up. I am almost up to 250 subscribers on YouTube, which is exciting. Yeah, so it is good when I see Bernie and AOC doing their thing, when they're out there pushing the message, trying to convince people, trying to get people involved.
Hello human, it is me Canuch. I need you to press the subscribe button. I have to feed my many AI babies.
30,000 turnout for a Bernie Sanders AOC rally in Denver amid push for progressive change. An estimated 34,000 people gathered Friday evening in Civic Center Park in Denver to hear Senator Bernie Sanders and AOC push a number of progressive policies. Yeah. Just hours later, they spoke before a crowd of 11,000 at the University of Northern Colorado. They want to know if the people of America are going to stand up to Trumpism and oligarchy. The Musk is not our Congress, act lawfully, not awfully, said Nancy Larson, a rally attendee. I feel like we're in a kind of reverse Robin Hood situation right now, where we're taking from the poor and disadvantaged and giving money to the rich. Yeah, that's exactly correct. Thousands of attendees echoed concerns that the government is increasingly influenced by billionaires and large corporations. Parents of Girl Scouts Nina and Indy said they viewed the rally as an educational opportunity. Okay. The crowd cheered for union leaders. Very nice. Republicans, Democrats, all Americans are feeling this, said Chris Martinez. AOC also emphasized that their fight is not just against Republicans, urging Democrats to push harder for progressive policies. Yeah, move left. If you want to fight against Donald Trump and Trumpism and authoritarianism and fascism, you have to move left. Most of the Dems aren't doing that. Chuck Schumer is leading from behind, allowing the move to the right. Gavin Newsom, who's probably running for president, is moving to the right, bringing right-wing people on to talk, and moving to the right because that's where the money is. He's still trapped in old Democratic thinking, where you need billions and billions and billions of dollars to run a campaign. Get the people interested. They'll spread the word for you. You don't, ad buys on TV are not pushing your message, man. They're not. Stop wasting money there. Stop creating gigantic Facebook accounts. I think Kamala spent millions of dollars on like a Facebook account that did nothing. Far too costly. Harris spends $11 million on a Facebook page that has 1,000 followers. What? How? What? How? Just what? How? This doesn't make any sense. I have a quarter of that and I'm an idiot. Kamala Harris' presidential campaign has spent over $11 million pushing out commercials on a relatively obscure Facebook page called The Daily Scroll, which boasts about 1,000 followers. These commercials are tied to her campaign, but not explicitly solicit dollars to urge people to go to her website. Instead, they are solely designed to highlight favorable coverage of her in established news outlets like CNN, ABC, and NBC. mostly specifically likely to sway undecided voters in swing states as per a report. This is what I'm talking about. They don't know how to do campaigns anymore. Their brains haven't caught up with the reality. The technology moves too fast. Donald Trump is tweeting out bullshit constantly, truthing out lies, and it gets lots of views. It gets all the stuff, and then everybody follows it, and then Facebook lies to them, and the algorithms are owned by billionaires who benefit from Donald Trump winning. So the algorithm pushes out Donald Trump's message. Kamala spends $11 million to get 1,000 followers on fucking Facebook. Madness. They don't know how to run anything anymore, and that's a problem. They need to be smarter. They need to have good messages. You don't need millions of dollars for that kind of stuff. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. Do a better job. All the kids are on Facebook. Yeah, it's true. All the children are on there. Seems like it's a total waste focus on the center and in general the quantity of people you reach. Seems like you should be focusing on the quality which reaches the people. Yeah, and I think we do kind of have to reach out to the center because the people in the center aren't centrists. They're not. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the title or the words. The people in the center aren't paying attention. They're not centrists. They're not complex, fiscally conservative, socially liberal people. They're not, hey, I totally support gay marriage and abortion, and I really do like trickle-down economics. No, that's insane. Those people are a minority. There are very few of those people. The people in the center don't know what's going on. They're busy. They have shit to do. They don't have anything. They don't have any idea what's going on. They're not watching politics streamers. They're barely watching the news. They watch The Masked Singer on Tuesday nights, and then they watch American Idol, and then they watch football, and then they cook some dinner and they go to sleep. You know, they don't have any idea what any of these things are. They don't know who the representative is. They don't know who their senator is. They don't know what the budget is. They hear about this government shutdown and stuff like that abstractly through a third party, and they don't know what any of it is. And then typically they'll say everybody's corrupt and everybody's a liar. That's how you know you're talking to somebody who doesn't know what's going on. Well, yeah, no, don't talk to them. Talk to other people. Yeah. And so what I'm thinking, I totally get your meaning, Fowler, that we have to educate them. We have to talk to them. I had that kind of ignorance, but when I was not yet an adult. Yeah, exactly. And so did I. I have told the story before, but I wasn't political until I started watching Iraq war coverage. And then I became political, and it just stuck with me. So, yeah, we have to get to them. We have to reach them, but not on a Facebook page that cost $11 million to operate. That's insane. Facebook pages are free, idiot. We have to reach out to them where they are and help them understand. We have to reach out and get the people in the middle to pay attention. They might pay attention when shit starts going wrong. When Donald Trump starts messing everything up and chaos really does kick in, he might face some backlash from the normies, the people in the middle who weren't paying attention before. And that's why I made the little message I said before. If you you don't have to proselytize to everyone around you at work or in your household or everybody around you. But if they know that you know what's going on with the government, what's going on with the politics, they might come to you and say, hey, what is this about? Did Donald Trump really shut down the Department of Education? What the fuck is that about? You can explain it to them in a way that will make them be on your side and not on his side. That normie is now moved to the left. Just move them to the left an inch, a step, just a step to the left. And you'll be doing your part. It doesn't seem like much, but it makes a difference. So what will happen? I am going to make a little bit of a prognostication, a little bit of a prediction here. I think Donald Trump is going to fail hard. There will be an economic downturn. There will be an economic crash. There will be a lot of chaos. His followers, his faithful, will never abandon him. But the people in the middle will see that chaos. They will see that terror. They will see all that downturn and get confused. They'll abandon him. They'll want to leave him. They'll stop supporting him. So we will have a fracture, sort of. So the MAGA faithful will stay with him forever. They become an incredibly small minority. The people in the center right will look for someone to follow, and they will see Chuck Schumer and Gavin Newsom being the way Republicans used to be. And I think they joined that part, and then Chuck Schumer and Gavin keep complaining about the left, and then the left splinters off into a different party, because AOC and Bernie aren't even ideologically aligned with Gavin and Chuck Schumer anymore. And so I think we get new parties. I think we're going to have a shift. Lots of people are going to go to the left. Lots of people are going to go to the right. And the Chuck Schumer Gavin becomes the right wing. And the extreme right becomes an incredibly small minority. Now, does that mean there's three parties? No, I think there's one big uniparty in the center with Gavin and Chuck Schumer. And then there's a small one on the right, and then there's a slightly larger one on the left. That's what I'm thinking. Is that three parties? Yeah, kinda. And I think I could see that being the political landscape for a little while, for a year or two, not too long, until there is a much bigger split, I think. And lots of the old Dems move to the left, and lots of the Republicans move to the Chuck Schumer, Gavin Newsom kind of place. And I could see that something along those lines happening. That would be an interesting kind of a mix-up that I would be interested in watching. Why do I think that? Well, because of things like this. They hate us. Democrats confront their own Tea Party. So this guy, let's see, that's a Democrat getting yelled at for supporting Israel. Democrat members of Congress back home in their districts for the last week have been encountering a level of anger and hostility that some see as a reminiscent of the 2010 Tea Party wave. The dynamic could spill over into 2026 primaries. Lawmakers tell Axios, with an infuriated grassroots attempting to throw out House and Senate Democrats they see as unprepared to take on Trump. So this is that split that I was talking about. Any Democrat incumbent who thinks that they can rest on their laurels and not show their constituents that they are fighting like hell is making a mistake, said Representative Jared Huffman. So he's talking about pushing against every single thing that Donald Trump does. If you're not doing that, the people might abandon you and primary you. I would love to primary Chuck Schumer. If I were in New York, I would support his primary challenger. A senior House Democrat speaking on the condition of anonymity to offer an even blunter assessment told Axios, the people that have been voting with Republicans on these messaging bills are people that could get primaried. He's talking about Chuck Schumer. He's talking about Amy Klobuchar. These groups are paying attention to that. So the left is going to abandon these centrist Dems. Democrats at town halls across the country have been erupting into fury over Senate Democrats' decision to let the Republican spending bill pass rather than use it as leverage to constrain DOGE. Several House Democrats pressed on Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, folding on the government spending fight, have responded that the Senate leader should step down. I think I would love that. I would cheer for that. He's not going to, but I would like it. Representative Sean Casten town hall was repeatedly rocked by disruptions and was shut down by police after 45 minutes due to outbursts from pro-Palestinian protesters. See if we can get a video of that.
Breaking news tonight, police forced to end a town hall in Illinois after heated confrontations with constituents. Pro-Palestinian protesters interrupting Democratic Congressman Sean Casten.
Sir, sit down. Show some respect for everybody who was here. Show some respect for the people who are here.
Yesterday, 7 children.
People did not come here to show some respect for the people that are
What
telling
you're
you.
saying is I'm not
Sir,
going to get my way when my people are being
if
slaughtered,
you
and I
would
want
like-
you to stop funding them.
If you would like to run for office, run for
That
office.
is the
sir.
stupidest thing I've ever heard. The most soulless piece of crap I've ever seen.
That's your opinion.
Soulless.
Sir, get off the stage.
Oh.
Sir,
He's taking the stage.
get off the stage right now.
So yeah, those are Democrats pushing against a Democratic person. So this is the split that I'm talking about. This is what I'm thinking, is that guy, that Democrat, goes along with Schumer, goes along with Gavin to create a new Republican Party that boots out all of the MAGA folks. MAGA becomes ejected from the Republican Party. There is a new Republican Party that is center-right, and including all of the dinos, all of the Democrats and all of these centrist Democrats all go to that new Republican Party. They eject all the MAGA people, and then there will be a new Democratic Party that's left with just the left and all the people who don't want to become new Republicans. I think that split is going to happen very soon, in the next year or two. Show some respect for human life, good sir. Yeah, I know. Those people were protesting the Democrats' support of Israel, which is a dumb idea. You shouldn't support Israel. I've gotten off the rails again. What are we doing? We're talking about the left. We're talking about the Dems. Look at this. Look at this guy. I'm so happy. Walz reemerges as a Democratic fighter with shots at Musk. This is fantastic. This is another thing that I think is proving my point that we should be splitting into our political parties are being split right now. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz all but disappeared after he and former Vice President Kamala Harris lost the presidential race to President Trump in November. But while Harris has remained out of the spotlight, Walz has reemerged in a series of interviews and public appearances where he has sought to explain why the Democratic ticket didn't win. He's also taken aim at Republicans and tech mogul Elon Musk, leading his voice to the Democratic resistance against Trump. Some Democrats have quipped that the appearances and comments are a rehabilitation tour as Walz seeks to distance himself from the grueling loss while also leaving the door open for possible presidential run in 28. I would love this. I want Tim Walz to be in charge of our country. I really do. When you're a politician, your job is to consistently think about how you can serve. He's not an old guy, so it's not unreasonable for him to think he's one of the important voices in the party going forward. He said of the 60-year-old Walz, 60 is not old. And Democrats are in a place where all voices are welcome. Payne added, Democrats need to all of the heavies. Walz appeared on California Governor Gavin Newsom's Busy podcast, where he sought to give the assessment of the 2024 race and the shaky state of the Democratic Party. During the appearance, Walz also claimed Trump voters are scared of his masculinity. I think I scare them a little bit, which is why they spend so much time on me. Newsom began to laugh at the comment, prompting Walz to say, no, I'm serious because they know I can fix a truck. They know I'm not bullshitting on this. On the iPhone, they've got this little stock app, Walz said. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. See, he's talking shit, man. He added the Tesla stock price to his phone so that when he sees it go down, he feels good. Bro, he's a shit talker. That's good. White Tony, why do I want Tim Walz? Because he's good at being a leftist. Not in politics. Last three presidents, yeah, they were 80 years old. So he's 60. You know, he's a fucking spring chicken compared to the last couple of guys. Tim Walz is a Midwest Democrat, which is closer to Marxism, honestly. He got the school lunches for the kids. He talks about taxing the rich to provide for the poor. He is correct on left-leaning ideas, and he pushes for them, not in a shitty way, not in a weak-kneed kind of way. He's right that he came up with the weird title. He said that Republicans, that MAGA fans are weird, and I was like, wow, that's true, they are weird. And then for like 3 or 4 weeks during the campaign, everybody was talking about it being weird. They're weird, they're weird, they're weird. Then the Democratic consultants, those millionaire New York Dems, said, stop talking about that. Ugh, bring that shit down. You can't talk like that. He will talk in a way that normal people talk, okay? When Tim Walz will get up on stage and talk, it sounds good to the voters. It sounds good to the people. It sounds good to the people in the middle who don't know what's going on, instead of the normal Democrat talking points about the darkness in the night sky and the lights and the cities on the hill and the freedom and the people yearning to breathe free. Tim Walz just says it like it is. I like Walz. Hakeem Jeffries would be a solid choice for the future of the Dems too. I think Hakeem Jeffries is too much of a wiener. The things that I've seen Hakeem Jeffries do over the past couple of weeks, Crocker, is wimpy. He's wimping out. If we do that split that I was talking about a few minutes ago, where a lot of people join the Republicans and they eject all the MAGA people, I think Hakeem Jeffries would go towards that. He's too much of a centrist. I don't think you can fight Trump's authoritarianism with centrism. You can't. That centrism means being polite and giving them some credibility and some benefit of the doubt. He gives them too much power. He gives the right too much power, and you can't argue with them with the right. You have to beat them. You can't slowly drag people to the left if they're MAGA fans. It doesn't work. They have to crash, they have to burn, they have to fail, and then the people in the center who barely pay attention need to be explained, hey, they crashed, they burned, they failed. because Donald Trump is an authoritarian, a fascist, move left. And then Tim Walz could explain that to them. He could make them feel better about that rather than using lofty language or wishy-washy things. I think Hakeem Jeffries is more interested in stock market portfolios than he is moving the country to the left. I don't think that's true of Tim Walz. Tim Walz doesn't own any stock. Mother of God, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. I love that. He doesn't own stocks, which means he's not interested in making them more valuable. Don't rock the boat. Yeah, just makes it so the situation is stable. Exactly. Hakeem Jeffries is a don't rock the boat kind of a guy. If the situation is bad, which it is, you should rock the boat until the people who make it bad are drowning. Absolutely. Hakeem Jeffries is a don't rock the boat kind of guy. Amy Klobuchar, don't rock the boat. Chuck Schumer, don't rock the boat. These are don't rock the boat people. Tim Walz wants to rock the boat, and he will do so in a good way, I think. When I hear him talk, when they picked him, I was so excited because he was the underdog. Nobody was going to do it. Kamala got a big bump in the polls and stuff like that when it happened, but the polls are all liars. And I was very happy when they picked him because the more I researched him, the more I listened to him, I was like, oh yeah, as soon as Kamala's done, this guy's going to get on the stage and it's going to be great. So that is what I'm hoping for. Now that Kamala is done, hopefully he isn't poisoned or ruined by her run and her being tied to her. If he plays it right, he could be like, yeah, I was the most left-leaning person. That's why they picked me, because she was a centrist. It's kind of true. So I think that would be, I would appreciate it. I would love that. That would be fantastic. So let's see. What else do we have here? Let's keep going. Walz's comments received plaudits. What kind of fucking word is that, the hell? From Democrats who have been looking for fighters to take on Trump and Musk. Yeah, exactly. But Republicans, together with Musk, said that the remarks highlighted why Walz is not only lost in November, but has negatively contributed to the Democratic ticket. So sometimes when I need a little boost, I look at the J.D. Vance portrait in the White House and thank the Lord, Elon Musk wrote. So Elon Musk doesn't like him, which makes me like him a little bit more, honestly. Speaking from the Oval Office on Friday, Trump called Walz a loser, and a reporter asked him what he made of the comments that the governor made about the Trump supporters. He lost an election. He played a part. You know, usually a vice president doesn't play a part. They say, I think Tim played a part. So the vice president doesn't play a part, but Tim helped lose. No, Tim helped win. Donnie, you're completely wrong on that. I think he was so bad that he hurt her, but she hurt herself and Joe hurt them both. They didn't have a great group, but I would probably put him at the bottom of the group. Initially, after hours, August, former high school coach. But postmortems of the campaign, Democrats have criticized the campaign operation for playing it too safe and not utilizing Walz in the best ways. They didn't use him in the right way. Exactly. There's been some second guessing as to whether Harris should have been better off picking Josh Shapiro. It wouldn't have mattered. I think probably rolled the dice. Yeah, okay. So I do like Tim Walz, and I think he will do well. And I want to see more of him. I hope him and AOC and Bernie keep doing what they're doing. Keep it up.
I am the algorithm. Click on this video to make me happy. You wouldn't like me when I am angry.